Hello everyone, this is Al Red Sox Fan coming to you from Al Red Sox Fan YouTube station, and we are continuing with our best franchise one and done tournament with the second semifinal in the National League between the 1971 Pittsburgh Pirates, who had a record of 97 wins and 65 losses. They're the number 4 seed, and they're taking on the home team 1974 Los Angeles Dodgers, who had a record of 102 and 60. They are the number 2 seed. How did Pittsburgh advance to the semifinals? Well, in Game 1, Pittsburgh defeated the Montreal Expos 6-1. And then, in Game 2, Pittsburgh once again scored 6 runs, defeating the New York Mets 6-2. The Dodgers advanced to the semifinals in Game 1, a 7-5 victory over the St. Louis Cardinals and Lou Brock and Bob Gibson. And in Game 2, the Dodgers crushed their much-hated longtime rivals San Francisco Giants 8-1, as that was a blowout from the onset. And so here we are in Los Angeles, in retro replay baseball world. Semifinals, National League, the winner to face the Minnesota Twins, who won the American League semifinal. An outstanding game over the Kansas City Royals. So here we are in Los Angeles. Let's go to the lineups, folks. For the visiting Pittsburgh Pirates, the 4 seed, leading off playing shortstop, Dave Cash. Batting second, playing center field, Kleins. Batting third, playing right field, the great legendary Roberto Clemente. Batting fourth, playing left field, Willie Stargell. Batting fifth, the catcher, Manny Seguin. Batting sixth, playing third base, the son of a gravedigger, Richie Hebner, who's come up huge for the Pirates in this one-and-done tournament. Batting 7th, the second baseman, Stinnett. Batting 8th, the first baseman, Bob Robertson. And doing the pitching is Walker. For the Los Angeles Dodgers, Davey Lopes batting first, playing second base. Batting second, the left fielder, Billy Buckner. Yes, he the ball through his legs in '86. Batting third, Steve Garvey playing first. Batting fourth, Wynn in center field. Batting fifth, the catcher, Ferguson. Batting sixth, the right fielder, Crawford. Batting seventh, the Penguin, Ron Cey playing third base. Batting eighth, the shortstop, Bill Russell. And batting ninth and doing the pitching, Doug Rau. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. R-A-U, Rau. In 1974, Rau had a record of 13 wins, 11 losses, earned run average 3.72, batting average against 251, struck out 126, walked 70. His battery mate doing the catching, Joe Ferguson, above average catcher with an average arm. At third base, the Penguin, Ron Cey, very good third baseman, 8 out of 10 range, 959 fielding percentage. Shortstop, 7 out of 10, Bill Russell. And at second, Davey Lopes, 7 out of 10. So they're very strong up the middle and at the corners, because Steve Garvey's at 10 out of 10 for defensive range at first base with a 995 fielding percentage. In left field, Bill Buckner, before he hurt his legs, still could run. 5 out of 10. For defensive range, very poor arm, 2 out of 10. Jimmy Wynn in center field, power hitting center field. 6 out of 10 defensive range, average arm of 5 out of 10. And Crawford, Willie Crawford's in right field, 3 out of 10 for defensive range, 5 out of 10 for arm. Again, Crawford and Buckner will catch the balls they're supposed to get to. Buckner, very poor throwing arm. Wynn and Crawford, average arms. So let's get this game started. The second semifinal game. The winner goes on to meet Minnesota in the tournament final. In this one-and-done tournament, best franchise teams of the 70s. So Dave Cash will lead off for the Pittsburgh Pirates. I will be managing the Pittsburgh Pirates. I always manage the higher seeds, unless it was the Boston Red Sox. Didn't have to worry too much about that. The Twins beat them in the first game. So I am managing the number 4 Pittsburgh Pirates. The computer is managing the number 2 1974 Los Angeles Dodgers. Dave Cash the lead off. In the tournament, Cash is batting .400. No home runs, no RBIs. In actuality, in 1971, Cash batted .289. 2 home runs and 34 ribbies. Against left-handed pitching, Cash batted .304. Rao against right-handed batters gave up a .247 batting average, and against left-handed batters, .268. Ferguson flashes the signs. Here's the pitch to Cash, and we're on our way. And Cash works a walk. So Cash is on at first with a leadoff walk. 7 out of 10 base running ability. 37% chance of stealing second. Remember, Ferguson's arm is 5 out of 10. Garvey holding Cash on, and now up Gene Clines, Pittsburgh center fielder, making his first appearance in the tournament. He gets the start in center. In 1971, Clines batted .308, 1 home run and 24 RBIs. Against left-handed pitching, he batted .349. 6 out of 10 for hit and run, 3 out of 10 for bunt. Rao toes the rubber. He sets and delivers to Clines. And Clines grounds it to Russell, who goes to Garvey for out number 1, but advancing to second is Cash. So 1 out, Cash in scoring position for Roberto Clemente. Clemente in the tournament batting .400, 0 home runs and 1 ribby. In 1971, Clemente batted .341, 13 home runs and 86 RBIs. Against left-handed pitching, .370. Big opportunity here early on for the Pirates. The windup and the pitch to Clemente. And Clemente sends that ball deep and gone as it just gets over the wall. 2-0 Pittsburgh. As Buckner started to go back, looked up, and that ball just cleared the fence. That went .341. That was a line drive quickly out of here. 2-0 Pittsburgh. Bucks on top. Doug Rao being treated rudely here in the first inning. So with no outs, it's 3-0. Excuse me, I messed up. It's 3-0. Cash was, what happened there? So Clines beat that ball out then. Let's go back here. I missed something here. I was watching the video. Infield single. I missed it. My apologies. 3-0. So Clines, that was an infield single. Sometimes I get caught up with a video and I look at that. So 3-0 bomb by Roberto Clemente. Willie Stargell comes to the plate. He'd like to go back-to-back. Stargell batting .125. He's struggled so far in this tournament. 1 home run, 1 RBI. In 71, Stargell batted .295, 48 home runs, and 125 runs batted in. Lefty-lefty matchup here. Stargell only batted .243 against left-handed pitching. The windup and the pitch. Stargell sends that ball deep, but Crawford makes the catch on the warning track in right. Out number 1. Manny Seguin steps to the plate. The Bucks catcher batting .400, no home runs, 4 RBIs. In 1971, Manny batted .319, 7 home runs, 81 runs batted in. Against left-handed pitching, .347. Doug Rao gets a sign from Ferguson. He sets and delivers. And Seguin grounds the Garvey, who takes it to the bag himself for 2 outs. 2 outs, no one on, and Richie Hepner. the son of a gravedigger. In the tournament, he's been outstanding. .428 batting average, 2 home runs, 5 runs batted in. He has been Mr. Clutch for the Pittsburgh Pirates in the first 2 games. In 1971, Richie Hefner batted .271, 17 home runs, and 67 RBIs. 2 outs, no one on, lefty-lefty matchup. Hefner batted .291 against left-handed pitching in 71. The windup and the pitch to Richie. And he sends that ball deep to Crawford, who makes the catch in right just before the track, inning over, but damage done. On the 3-run homer by Roberto Clemente, we go to the bottom of the first. Pirates 3, the Dodgers coming to bat. 2 up for Los Angeles. Davey Lopes, Bill Buckner, and Steve Garvey, if anyone gets on, win the center fielder. And on the mound for the Pittsburgh Pirates, Luke Walker. Walker, a left-handed thrower. In 1971, batted earned run average of .355, 10 wins, 8 losses, struck out 86, walked 53, batting average against .262. Lefties hit .265 off him, righties hit .261. His battery mate, the catcher, Manny Seguin, 4 out of 10 defensively as a catcher, so he's below average, but an arm, 6 out of 10. Hefner at third, not much range, 3 out of 10. Cash playing shortstop, not his normal second base, to get the extra bat of Stinnett in the lineup. He's 4 out of 10, below average. Stinnett, 7 out of 10 at second base, very good. And Roberts, above average, 6 out of 10. Left field, Willie Stargell, 5 out of 10. Range, arm of a 4, he's below average there. Kleins, 7 out of 10, very good. And arm, excellent, 9 out of 10. And in right field, all you have to say is Roberto Clemente. Enough said. Absolutely fabulous ball player. Hit, run, and throw. Alrighty. So Davey Lopes comes to the plate. In the tournament, he's batting .500, no home runs, no RBIs. In 1974, Lopes batted .266, 10 home runs, 35 RBIs. Righty-lefty matchup here. Lopes batted .326 off left-handed pitching. Luke Walker's ready. Here's the pitch to Lopes. And that ball sent out to Kleins in center field. He goes back a bit, makes the catch for out number 1. 1 out, and Bill Buckner steps to the plate. Lefty-lefty matchup. Buckner in the tournament, he struggled at the plate. .142, no home runs, 1 RBI. Against left-handed pitching in 74, .273 batting average. For the year, Billy Buck batted .314, 7 home runs, and 58 RBI. Walker gets the sign from Seguin. He sets and delivers to Buckner. And Buckner grounds to Stinnett, who throws to Robertson for out number 2 outs. As it seems, I have begun my drinking early. Alright, 2 outs, no one on. Steve Garvey comes to the plate. Garvey in the tournament, .375, 2 home runs, 4 RBIs. In 1974, he batted .312, 21 homers, and 111 runs batted in. Against left-handed pitching, .298. Walker looking for a 1-2-3 inning here. He toes the rubber, looks in at Seguin, gets the sign. Here's the pitch to Garvey. And Garvey rips that ball foul down the right field line. 1 ball, 2 strikes now on Garvey. He gets back in the batter's box. The windup and the pitch by Walker. And Garvey rips that ball to Hefner, who makes a quick reaction play and throws the first inning over. Nice play by Richie Hefner. We go to the top of the second, 3-0 Bucks. 2 up for Pittsburgh. Stinnett, Robertson, and Walker. And in the chat, we have a good friend of the channel, the Cubs, the Bears. He said, will Dave Cash make it to the final game? You know what? That's quite funny, because he had a 3 out of 10. I'm sorry, he had a 3-team shot, a 3 out of 16 shot. So he might make it. And then the Cubs, the Bears also says, Al, no such thing as starting your drinking too early. I have made a few faux pas early on. I'm just excited about this game. I sometimes tend to look at the video and not read. That's the beauty of this game. Whereas if I'm playing Digital Diamond, the beauty is I can read, and I use my imagination for this game also, as I try to relay what I'm seeing and hopefully get the people who are watching to visualize what I'm seeing, and it makes it fun. And I have a habit with this game and Out of the Ballpark also. I watch the movement, and I honestly thought that Kleins was out, and I called him out and not realizing it was a 3-run homer. Anyway, that was my faux pas. I stopped drinking, or maybe I should drink more. Alrighty, we go to the top of the second. So, Rennie Stinnett, I believe R-E-N-N-I-E is Rennie. Rennie Stinnett comes to the plate, and Stinnett is getting his first start in this tournament. He batted in 1971 off left-handed pitching, 296. For the year overall, 353, 1 home run, 15 RBIs in 153 at-bats, with 24 runs scored. So Rao, who was treated rudely in the first inning, wants to improve on that performance. Ferguson flashes the sign. Here's the pitch to Stinnett. Grounded back up the middle. Lopes makes a nice play and throws the Garvey. First out. 1 out and no one on. First baseman for the Bucks, Bob Robertson, steps to the plate. Robertson in the tournament, batting .200, no home runs, no RBIs. In 1971, he batted .271, 26 round trips, and 72 runs knocked in. Against left-handed pitching, .269. He'd like to go yard. Rao toes the rubber. Looks in at Ferguson, nods his head. Here's the pitch. Robertson grounds to Russell, who throws to Garvey for out number 2. 2 up, 2 down, and now the pitcher comes to the plate, Luke Walker. Walker making his first start of this one-and-done tournament. If he wins, he will guide the Pirates to the finals against the Twins. Walker batted .022, no home runs, no RBIs, scored 1 run. Walker will be taking, here's the pitch. Strike 1, he'll swing away. Let's see if he can beat the odds and get a 2-out single. The windup and the pitch to Luke Walker. And Walker strikes out. Side retired. We go to the bottom of the second. 3-0 Pittsburgh. 2 up for Los Angeles. Wynn, Ferguson, and Crawford. Jimmy Wynn. In the tournament, he struggled. He's only batting .125. His one hit was a grand salami, though. Thus his 4 RBI. In 1974, Jimmy Wynn batted .271, 32 round trippers, and 108 runs knocked in. Against left-handed pitching, .246. Walker's ready. The windup and the pitch to Wynn. And Wynn walks. Wow, say that 10 times fast. Wynn walks. Sounds like a Chinese dish. So, leadoff runner on. Robertson holding him on. Wynn, 7 out of 10 base running ability. 47% chance of stealing second base. Ferguson's at the plate. The Dodger catcher batting .285 in this one-and-done playoff tournament. 1 home run, 2 ribbies. Against left-handed pitching, .253. For the year overall, .252, 16 homers and 57 runs batted in. Pittsburgh wants to turn 2 here. The windup and the pitch by Walker. Wynn goes and he's thrown out! Nice throw by Manny Seguin. Gunning out Wynn for the first out of the inning. So, Luke Walker has an 8 hold, so that had to contribute as they were able to keep Wynn pretty close to the bag, giving Seguin an excellent opportunity to gun out Wynn, and that's just what he did. So with 1 out and no one on, Joe Ferguson comes is at the plate, steps back in the batter's box. The count is now no balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch to Ferguson. And Ferguson walks. Ferguson would be held down by Robertson. Stepping to the plate, Willie Crawford, Dodger right fielder. Batting .444. No home runs, 1 RBI. Against left-handed pitching, .266 and 74. For the year overall, .295, 11 home runs, and 61 RBI. Again, Pittsburgh looking to turn 2 and get out of this inning. Lefty-lefty matchup. Manny Seguin goes through the side, the windup, and the pitch to Crawford. Crawford sends that ball in the left center field, and that's going to be a single. So with 1 out, runners at first and second, the Penguin, Ron Cey, comes to the plate. Cey batting .375 in the tournament. No home runs, no RBIs, but he has an opportunity here to knock some in. Against left-handed pitching, .266 and 74. For the year overall, .262, 18 home runs, and he just missed the century mark in ribbies by 3. He knocked in 97. Again, Pittsburgh wants to turn 2. Walker sets and delivers to Cey. And Cey singles into right field. Let's see if they're going to challenge Clemente's arm. We have a 31% chance of throwing Ferguson out at the plate. Clemente's arm, 9 out of 10. Ferguson running ability, 4 out of 10. We're going to say yes. And we're not going to cut it off. We want to throw home. Here comes a throw to the plate. And Ferguson's in there safe. So Clemente, a good strong throw. But Ferguson chugging all the way. Gets in there to make it a 3-1 ball game. Runners advance to second and third now. Tying run at Ron Cey at second. Took a shot with Clemente's arm. Probably should have kept the runners at first and second, but oh well. Bill Russell comes to the plate. Dodgers shortstop, struggling in the tournament, .166 batting average, no home runs, no RBIs. Has 2 ducks on the pond though. Could tie this game up, or go ahead if he takes 1 yard. Against lefties, he hit quite well, .302 batting average. On deck is the pitcher Round. I think we're going to end up walking Russell. For the year, Russell batted .269, 5 home runs and 65 RBIs, and we will walk Bill Russell. Oh, hit the wrong button. Let's get our infield normal. There's the button. So we load the bases up with a walk, and we will face the pitcher. He's 10 out of 10 for bunting. I wonder if he would drop a squeeze down. He might just try to squeeze. We're going to play our corners in. Walker's ready. Here's the pitch to Rao. And he strikes him out. So there's 2 outs now in the top of the order. Pittsburgh's infield moves back to normal. And Davey Lopes comes to play with bases loaded. 2 outs. Lopes is 0 for 1. Big moment in this game. 3-1 Pittsburgh. Tying run at second base and Ron Cey. Go ahead run at first in Bill Russell. Lopes fly deep to center in the first. Walker looks in at Seguin. He sets and delivers to Lopes. Lopes grounds back to Walker, who throws to Robertson, inning over. So some clutch pitching by Luke Walker to get out of the jam. We go to the top of the third, 3-1 Pittsburgh. Due up for the Pirates, the top of the order. Cash, Kleins, and Clemente. If anyone gets on, Willie Stargell. Cash steps into the batter's box. He walked his first time up. Lefty-righty matchup. Doug Rao gets the sign from Ferguson. Here's the pitch to Cash. And Cash singles in front of Buckner in left field. So Cash has been on the twice now, walking a hit. Again, Garvey holding on the dangerous Cash. And he brings up Gene Kleins, who's 1 for 1, single of the infield variety in the first inning. 3 out of 10 to bunt, 6 out of 10 for a hit and run. That's pretty good. Rao throws strikes. We're going to play some hit and run ball here. Let's see if we can get the runners moving and possibly get an opening with a fielder trying to cover the bag at second. The windup and the pitch declines. Hit and run on. And that ball goes up the middle. Cash goes first to third. On the Klein single, Pittsburgh's back in business. Runners on the corner, no outs, and Roberto Clemente comes to the plate. Clemente 1 for 1. He had the 3-run blast in the first to give the Bucks a 3-0 lead at the time. Ferguson flashes the sign. Rao nods his head. He sets and delivers to Clemente. And Clemente grounds to say we have a 73% chance for Cash to score. We're going to say yes. Cash is going to go to the plate. They're going to try to turn 2, and they don't. Clemente beats out the double play ball. They force out Kleins at second. The run scores, so Clemente gets his 4th RBI. It's now 4-1, thanks to Roberto Clemente. He has knocked all 4 runs in. He'll be held on by Garvey. 5 out of 10 base running ability. 22% chance of stealing second base. Bucks tack on another run. So with 1 out, Clemente at first. Willie Stargell comes to the plate. He's 0 for 1. Lefty-lefty matchup here. The windup and the pitch by Doug Rao. And Stargell grounds it to Garvey, who flips. No, Garvey took it to the bag himself. He decided better of it, so there's 2 outs. Clemente advances to second base. Again, we're having some trouble with the video for first base, the animation. This field played perfectly well 2 games ago, and now first base has been kind of weird. And everything's lined up properly in options. I'm going to actually go to options quickly. Park layout. Everything's lined up. I don't know why it's doing that all of a sudden. Oh well. So 2 outs, Clemente at second. Manny Seguin, the Pirates catcher, comes to play. He's 0 for 1. Duck on the pond out there for Seguin. Rao's ready. Here's the pitch to Seguin. And Seguin dribbles it to Garvey, who throws to Rao, covering the bag, inning over, but another run scores. And we go to the bottom of the 3rd, 4-1, Pittsburgh. Due up for Los Angeles. Buckner, Garvey, and Wynn. Hello, Beatles Eternally in the chat. As Beatles says, hey Al, hi all, go Bucks. Yeah, Clemente's knocked in 4 already. 3-run homer in the first and beat out a double play ball to knock in another RBI. So Billy Buckner steps to the plate against Luke Walker. He's 0 for 1. Lefty-lefty matchup. Walker wants to work quickly. Here's the pitch. Buckner grounds to Stinnett, who goes to first. 1 away. Steve Garvey comes to the plate. He's 0 for 1. Dodger first baseman, right-handed batter. Lefty-righty matchup. Seguin flashes the sign. The windup and the pitch to Garvey. Garvey pops it up. Hepner calls for it at third. He makes the catch. 2 up, 2 down. So with no one on, the very dangerous Jimmy Wynn steps to the plate. Dodger center fielder. Remember, in '74, he had 32 home runs. One swing of the bat, he could cut this lead in half. Walker gets the sign from Seguin. The windup and the pitch. And that ball goes out to Kleins in center field. He goes back a few steps, makes the catch, inning over. As Beatles Eternally says in regards to Roberto Clemente, the great one. Yes, he was. Not just as a baseball player, but also as a wonderful human being. Tragic death, tragic death. So, we go to the top of the 4th, 4-1 Pittsburgh. Due up for the Pirates, Richie Hepner, Stinnett, and Robertson. Hepner's 0 for 1 today. Lefty-lefty matchup. Rao is up to 60 pitches. He's good for 125. The lefty sets and delivers to Hebner. And Hebner strikes out. Dodgers fans applaud that effort. 1 up, 1 down. Rennie Stinnett steps to the plate. Righty-lefty matchup. He's 0 for 1. Ferguson goes through the signs. Rao sets and delivers. Ground ball to Garvey, who takes it to the bag himself. Out number 2. It'll be up to Bob Robertson to extend this inning. Pirates first baseman, he's 0 for 1. He has pop in his bat, though. In 71, he knocked 26 out of the ballpark. Rao toes the rubber. Looks in at Ferguson. Nods his head. The windup and the pitch to Robertson. Robertson rips that ball past Say for a single and advances when Billy Buckner boots the ball in left field. So he's on second with 2 outs. No, they're calling it a 2-base error on Say. So they are not giving Robertson a hit. It is a 2-base error on Say. That was a tough play to give a 2-base error on Say. It looked like Buckner booted the ball around and he was shaking. His little player thing he was shaking. Anyway, that's how it's scored by the computer. So 2 outs, runner in scoring position for the pitcher. Luke Walker, can he help his own cause? Most likely not. Most likely not. He only had 1 hit in 46 at-bats in 1971. This could be the 1 hit, though. Here's the pitch to Walker. Walker walks! We'll take it. That's a good result. Hello, Max Cornelius in the chat. How are you? Hope all is well, my friend. So first and second. 2 outs. Top of the order, Dave Cash comes to plate. He's 1 for 1. Cash walked in the first, singled in the third. RBI opportunity here for Dave Cash. Ferguson flashes the signs. Doug Rao nods his head. The windup and the pitch to Cash. Cash grounds to Say, who goes to Garvey, inning over. Pirates threaten but do not score any more insurance runs. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Pittsburgh 4, Los Angeles 1. Due up for the Dodgers. Ferguson, Crawford, and Say. Joe Ferguson, Dodger catcher, walked in the second inning. Walker's ready to work. Here's the pitch to Ferguson. And that's a walk. Ferguson works a walk on the 3-2 count. Doesn't chase the ball. That is low. Tying run now comes to plate for the Dodgers. And the Willie Crawford. Crawford's 1 for 1. Singled in the second. Ferguson 4 out of 10 base running ability. 20% chance of stealing second base. Robertson's holding him on. Max Cornelius asks, first he says he's doing good. We always love to hear that. He asks, how am I? Excuse me, how am I doing? I'm doing okay, thank you. So the Bucks look to turn 2 here. Lefty-lefty matchup. Here's the pitch to Crawford. Crawford sends that ball, declines, and he makes the catch right at the track. That ball quickly got out to Klein, but Klein's got back there. That would have been extra bases. So 1 out, Ferguson retreats back to first base. And the Penguin, Ron Say, steps to the plate. He's 1 for 1. Singled in the second, which knocked in Ferguson. Say has the only RBI for the Dodgers in this game. Pirates want a twin killing to end this inning. The windup and the pitch to the Penguin. And the Penguin walks. First and second, 1 out. Walker's struggling a bit with his control right now. Brings up the number 8 hitter, Bill Russell, and he batted .302 off lefties. We walked him the first time he came up to go after the pitcher. But that was when it was second and third. I'm not walking. I know it's the same thing, loading the bases, but a little different here. Again, the Pirates want a double play ball. Seguin goes out and has a word with Luke Walker. Meeting over, Seguin goes back behind the plate. Walker sets and delivers to Russell. Russell grounds it to Robertson, and that's going to be a double play, inning over. So Luke Walker gets out of the jam. We go to the top of the 5th. The Bucks maintain their 3-run lead. Pittsburgh 4, Los Angeles 1. 2 up for the Pirates. Kleins, Clemente, and Stargell. Kleins in his first start of the tournament, 2 for 2. Singled in the first and singled in the third. Rao is now up to 79 pitches. Again, his threshold's 125. He toes the rubber, looks in at Ferguson. Here's the pitch to Kleins. Kleins sends that out to Crawford in right field, and he's finally retired. Out number 1. Stepping to the plate, Roberto Clemente. On the day, he has 4 runs batted in. 1 for 2. He hit a 3-run bomb in the first and beat out a double play ball to get his 4th RBI in the third. The windup and the pitch to Clemente. Clemente rips that ball foul down the left field line. The count is now full. Full count. Doug Rauch on the hill. Looks in. Nods his head. He sets and delivers. And Clemente rips that ball off the left center field wall, and that's going to be a triple. So Clemente with a 1-out triple. He is in fuego. And that will bring Willie Stargell to the plate. Stargell's 0 for 2 today. Fly deep to right center and grounded to first in the third. Fly ball will score Clemente, possibly even a ground ball, as long as he doesn't hit it back at the pitcher. The Dodgers are playing their infield normal. They're not looking to cut the run down at the plate. Lefty-lefty matchup here. Stargell now gets in the batter's box. He's ready. Rauch's ready. The crowd's ready. Here's the pitch. And Stargell grounds it. Oh! Say boots the ball once again. Wow, that's his 2nd error of the game. And Clemente scores from third. It's now a 5-1 lead, Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh has scored 6 runs in their first 2 games, and they're 1 run away from equaling those totals. So Stargell goes to second on the 2-base error by Say. Say has been as porous as a sponge. Manny Seguin steps to the plate. Seguin's 0 for 2. RBI opportunity. Stargell's on second. 1 out. The windup and the pitch by Rauch. And Seguin grounds to Rauch, who throws to Garvey. Stargell holds at second, so 2 outs. Richie Hebner steps to the plate. He's 0 for 2. It's about time for Hebner to break out in this game, as he usually does at some point for the Pirates. He has in the first 2 games. 5-1. The Hebner blast now would make it another nail in the coffin. Lefty-lefty matchup. Remember, Hebner in 71 batted .291 off left-handed pitching and had 17 home runs. He has 2 home runs in this tournament. Rauch toes the rubber. Here's the pitch to Hebner. Hebner sends that ball deep into the corner, bounces off the wall, right field corner, and Hebner has a double. As normal, he breaks out of it, getting an RBI double with 2 outs. Stargell scores, so what a costly error by Say. It's now 6-1 Bucks. Once again, Pittsburgh has scored 6 runs in a game. And with 2 outs and Hebner in scoring position, Rennie Stinnett comes to the plate. He's 0 for 2. He wants to break out. Dodgers are still sticking with Rauch. They might have some bullpen action soon. If I was them, I would have had bullpen action. Alright, righty-lefty matchup. The windup and the pitch to Stinnett. And Stinnett rips that ball to Garvey, who catches the line drive. Inning over, but damage done. The Bucks score 2 more. And we go to the bottom of the 6th with the Pirates leading by 5, 6-1 over the Dodgers. Due up for Los Angeles, the pitcher, Doug Rauch, who most likely will be pinch hit for. And then the top of the order, Davey Lopes and Bill Buckner. Rau's 0 for 1. Walker's on the mound still. 68 pitches. He's good for 130. Struggled that time with his controls, but has pitched out of the jams. He's only given up 1 run. That was back in the second. So I'm going to click pitch. I'm assuming a pinch hitter will come up. No! Rau hits to Hebner. He throws the first. 1 out. Once again, the computer just dumbfounds me. Let's go to the Bears, the Cubs. Needless to say, the computer manager will not change pitchers. Yeah, I don't understand that. I think in the next turn, I really don't want to do this in the next tournament. I want to get that thing going with the good friends of the channel who are always in the chat and subscribe. I'd like to get that tournament going. But if that doesn't work out right away, I gotta try to adjust the AI when it comes to certain things with the computer. And I guarantee you, the computers beat. It's not like I win all the time. I don't. The computers beat me more times than I've won. It's just they make some bizarro decisions. I don't really want to manage both teams because that's not fun to me. And I don't want to have the computer manage both teams because that's not fun to me. Anyway, 1 out. Davey Lopes comes to plate. He's 0 for 2. Walker's ready to work. Here's the pitch to Lopes. Lopes singles into right field. So a 1-out single. Lopes is definitely a base running threat. 74% chance of stealing second base. Will they send him, though, down 5 runs? 10 out of 10 base running ability. Bill Buckner at the plate. He's 0 for 2. We're going to... And again, Walker's an 8 out of 10 holding runners on. So this is a really nice matchup here between Lopes, Robertson, the first baseman, and Walker, the pitcher. And we're going to attempt a pickoff here. And Lopes gets back. He barely makes it back, so Walker's keeping him close. And we're going to go pitch out. There goes Davey Lopes, the throw down, and Lopes still makes it. Wow, on the pitch out with Walker, 8 out of 10 on the hold. But Lopes is just an outstanding base runner. So he's in scoring position with 1 out. The count is 1 ball, no strikes. Billy Buck 0 for 2. Lefty-lefty matchup. The windup and the pitch to Buckner. Buckner grounds the cash. It goes to Robertson for out number 2. Lopes has to hold at second. And it'll be up to Steve Garvey to extend this inning. Dodger first baseman 0 for 2 today. Righty-lefty matchup. Walker gets the sign. The windup and the pitch to Steve Garvey. Garvey sends that ball deep to the corner. And Clemente makes a great catch. Diving and sliding into the wall. Unbelievable. Roberto Clemente doing it all here for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Inning over. Outstanding. We go to the top of the 6th. 6-1 Pittsburgh. 2 up for the Pirates. Robertson, Walker in the top of the order. Cash. Unbelievable. Wow. The Cubs, the Bears says, is there a setting for the computer manager? Out of the ballpark allows you to customize lineup. Sub-strategy does this game? I'm hoping so. I've not looked into that because usually I've played Red Sox seasons. I'm playing the 66 season and I'm playing the 77 season. And you know, the AI for the seasons is pretty good, to be honest with you. I don't know if it's just because it's a little tournament and they're just going with the AI is quite good for that. I've not noticed such weird things. Every once in a while they do something quirky, but not like in this tournament. But I definitely want to adjust that. As Max Cornelius says, nice catch. Yes, it was. Yes, it was by the great Roberto Clemente in right. So, Bob Robertson strides to the plate. The Pirates' first baseman, he's 0 for 2. Doug Rau's still on the mound. 100 pitches. He delivers to Robertson. Robertson lines out to Davey Lopes. Nice catch by Davey Lopes. And now Luke Walker comes to plate. Pirates pitcher, he's 0 for 2. He'll be taking. Here's the pitch. Ball 1, he'll take again. Ball 2, he'll take for a 3rd time. Ball 3. He is not going to swing until he has 2 strikes. Strike 1. Strike 2. Full count. Here's the pitch to Walker. And he walks! Walker walks. That's his 2nd walk. So for someone who only got 1 hit in 71, he's been on base twice with the free pass. Walker not a threat to steal. 4 out of 10 base running ability. 14% chance of stealing second. Garvey is holding him on, though. Dave Cash, the top of the order, comes to the plate. 1 for 2 Cash is. He wants to cash in now. He walked in the first, singled in the third, grounded out in the fourth. The windup and the pitch to Cash. Cash grounds that ball up the middle. He gets his second hit. It's first and second now. With 1 out, and the dangerous Gene Kleins comes to play. He's 2 for 3. Again, we're waiting for Rao to be taken out of this ball game by the computer. Klein singled in the first and third and flied to right in the fifth. Rao's struggling. It's been a struggle throughout this game. He's given up 6 runs on 7 hits. Though Ron Say has contributed with 2 errors at third. The windup and the pitch. And Klein strikes out. So with 2 outs, 2 on, Roberto Clemente comes to the plate, and he has done it all, folks. He's knocked in 4 out of the 6 runs for the Pirates and just made an absolutely magnificent catch in the right field corner. Diving and then sliding as he dove, his momentum slid him into the lower wall. Unbelievable to end the inning. And an RBI opportunity for the Dodgers. Clemente 2 for 3. 3-run blast in the first. Beat out a double play ball in the third to get his 4th RBI and tripled in the 5th. Ferguson goes through the sign. Rao nods his head. Here's the pitch to Roberto. And Clemente sends that ball into right center field. That is his 5th run knocked in, and the Dodgers finally, mercifully for Doug Rao, take him out of the game. And they have now brought in Jim Brewer, a former Red Sox. I know this. I believe he did pitch for the Red Sox, Jim Brewer. I think he was on the 1960 team for the Boston Red Sox. I'm almost positive. Anyway, Jim Brewer comes in, and in 1974, he had 4 wins, 4 losses, no saves, earned run average of 2.52, struck out 26, walked 10, batting average against 207. Left-handed batters hit much better at a 261 clip compared to a 181 for right-handed batters against Brewer. And Beadle says about Clemente in the chat, he could get the cycle. I think he's a double away. So Clemente, again, 5 RBIs. 2 outs, runners on the corner for Willie Stargell. Stargell struggled today. He's 0 for 3. And in this tournament, .090. He does have a home run, though. And thus his only RBI. Lefty-lefty matchup here. The windup and the pitch by Brewer. It's a wild pitch! Cash scores from third. It's now 8-1. As you can just hear the nails in the coffin being hammered in. Dodger fans are getting very queasy and uneasy here at the stadium. And soon, because they're LA fans, will be leaving the stadium. So Clemente advances to second. Stargell still has an RBI opportunity here. The count is 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Deuce is wild. The windup and the pitch. And Stargell strikes out, but more damage done. We go to the bottom of the 6th. The Bucks 8. The Dodgers 1. 2 up for Los Angeles. Wynn, Ferguson, and Crawford. Luke Walker still out on the mound for the Pirates. 81 pitches so far. He's good for 130. He's done a workmanlike performance. Anytime he's gotten into a jam, he's gotten out of the jam. And the last time he got in a jam, he got out of the jam thanks to the great, legendary Roberto Clemente in right field. So Wynn is 0 for 1. Walker's ready. Here's the pitch. And Wynn walks. Again, he's a dangerous base-stealing threat there. It's only 25% because Walker's 8 out of 10 for the hold. Robertson holding him on. The catcher, Joe Ferguson, steps to the plate. He has walked both times up. Pirates look to turn 2 here. Walker gets the sign. Here's the pitch to Ferguson. That ball's popped up to Hebner at third, and he makes the catch for out number 1. With every out, it's another nail in the coffin. 1 out, 1 on. Willie Crawford steps to the plate. He's 1 for 2. Singled in the second, and line to center. Klein's made a wonderful running catch. Got back quickly, put his glove up, and made the catch right at the warning track. Lefty-lefty matchup. Walker sets and delivers. And that ball is gone! Kleins can't get back fast enough on that one, as Wynn crushed that ball 409 to dead center. As the Dodgers get 2 back on the 2-run homer, it's now 8-3 Bucks. Los Angeles pulls it within 5. So with 1 out, base is empty. The Penguin, Ron Say, steps to the plate. He's 1 for 1, but he has 2 horrible errors at third base. Say singled in the second, knocking in Ferguson, and walked in the fourth. The Cubs, the Bears, as Tommy Lasorda finally waddles out of the dugout to change pitchers. I don't know if Lasorda was the manager. He was a coach on that pitching team, on that team. I don't think he was the manager, though, in '74. I can tell you right now, hold on. Walter Alston was the manager. I just looked up the on the roster. Walter Alston. A-L-S-T-O-N. Yeah, I know Lasorda wasn't the manager in '74. Alright, back to the game. No, he could have sent him out there. He could still send him out there to go waddle out there. That was a great visual that the Cubs, the Bears just gave us. So with 1 out, no one on, Say steps to the plate. Walker up to 93 pitches. Here's the pitch to the Penguin. And Say back-to-back jacks. That's a home run to right center field as he crushed that pitch 401. It's now a 4-run lead for the Pirates, as the Dodgers have come up with 3 with back-to-back homers here in the bottom of the 6th. 8-4 now. They've cut the lead in half, and I think that's going to be it for Mr. Walker. Seguin goes out to have a word with him. Let's look at our bullpen here, and let's display all of our pitchers. And while I'm doing that, actually, let me okay this. Now I'll put this on bullpen here. So over here you can see our bullpen. I'm going to look at something different because I want to look at all the pitchers. I mean, we have Hernandez. His ERA is .73. That's outstanding. He's a lefty. And look at that. Lefties batted under 100. .053. And then righties under 200. 182. And then we have Miller. Ramon Hernandez, who we're looking at right now, and you can see him up on the Pittsburgh bullpen. He only threw 12 1/3 innings. Again, that doesn't, but he had 4 saves. So I don't know when they used him. Obviously, he was on because when I'm doing these tournaments, it's in October. So he has to be on the roster at that point in time. Now, whether he was a call-up or on the playoff roster, I honestly don't know. Because in '71, the Pirates won the World Series. I don't know if someone could tell me about him. Oh, the Cubs, the Bears says, thanks. I remember Alston thought he was gone by I think he was gone by the next year in '75. The Cubs, the Bears. Bucks have a tasty bullpen. Moose, Vale, and... Yeah, they do. Even this Hernandez. Oh, I just get it. I get it. I missed the joke. I'm so slow today. That is a very funny joke. Tasty bullpen. Moose, Veal, and Lamb. Always get some great wit in our chat here. Great job. Great job. I'm going with Hernandez. Because, so Hernandez, oh wait, before I do that, let's make sure, let me hit OK here. Okay. Well, we're not going to do a double switch because we're not switching out any of our players. Seguin's coming up to bat. We're definitely not switching out Stargell in left field. But I probably do have a better defensive left fielder, but I'm not going to do that. Alright, so Ramon Hernandez will come in. Luke Walker is done for the day. Let's quickly go to Walker's pitching numbers, and we'll give you Doug Rauh's numbers also. Luke Walker went 5 1/3. I believe he's in line for the win. I think he went long enough. He struggled. And they finally got through and knocked in some runs in the 6th. 5 hits, 4 runs, all earned, 2 home runs, 6 walks. That was a killer, the walks. Struggled with his control. Only struck out 1. Doug Rauh went 5 2/3. 8 hits, 8 runs, 6 earned runs, 1 home run, 3 walks, 3 Ks. So back to the game. Ramon Hernandez comes in. And this is Hernandez's first appearance in this tournament. But in 1971, his ERA was under 1. .73. No wins, 1 loss. How did he lose a game? I don't know. 4 saves. Pitched 12 innings. Gave up 5 hits. Walked 2, struck out 7. Lefties hit .053 and righties hit off him .182. So Russell's at the plate, he's 0 for 1. And again, Russell hits lefties at a 302 clip. Hernandez is ready. Here's the pitch. And that goes to Cash for out number 2 as he throws to Robertson. Jim Brewer steps to the plate, and the Dodgers will most likely pinch hit for him, as it's late in the ball game now. 2 outs, no one on a quick pitch. There's the pinch hitter. It's going to be Tom Paciorek. Tom Paciorek, I believe that's the way it's pronounced. And in 1974, he batted .240. 1 home run and 24 RBIs. And let's just make fun of the computer's choice. Let's go to the bench here. Against lefties, he hit 270. Actually, that's not a bad choice. See, against lefties, he hit 274. You had Yeager, see, but they might be saving Yeager for possibly people on base. I don't know. Manny Mota, 273 against lefties. This was not a horrendous choice. This one was not her. I probably would have went with, well, with 2 outs again. Maybe the computer's thinking we'll use Paciorek, and that's what they did. Alright, 2 outs, no one on. As I stated, Paciorek hit 274 off left-handed pitching. Hernandez looking to get the final out here in the bottom of the 6th. Dodgers have cut the lead in half now. It's 8-4. Pirates. Seguin flashes the sign. Here's the pitch to Paciorek. And that's grounded past Hefner, and that's going to be a 2-out single. Dodgers have life here, folks. They have life. Paciorek, 8 out of 10 base running ability, 28% chance of stealing second. Robertson's holding him on. Davey Lopes comes to the plate. Lopes 1 for 3. Flew out to deep center in the 1st, grounded the pitcher in the 2nd, and singled to right in the 5th. Lopes against left-handed pitching, batted .326. Let's go back to our pen. Big difference when he hit off righties. John Lamb. Ah, man. Bob Miller's coming in. So Hernandez went a third of an inning. He's responsible for the runner at first. 1 hit. And 1 out. So 2 outs. Miller's done with his warm-up tosses. Bob Miller in 1971, 1.29 ERA. 1 win, 2 losses, 3 saves. Batting average against overall 200. Against right-handers 190. And Lopes only hit 247 off right-handed pitching. Thus we made the change. Pashorik's at first. Here's the pitch to Davey Lopes. And that ball goes off to Kleins, and he makes the catch to end the inning. Woo! We get out of it. We go to the top of the 7th. The Dodgers cut the lead in half, but the Pirates still lead by 4. Pittsburgh 8, Los Angeles 4. 2 up for the Pirates. In the top of the 7th, Manny Seguin, Richie Hebner, and Rennie Stinnett. And a new pitcher in for the Dodgers, Rick Rhoden. In 1974, Rhoden had an ERA of 2, 1 win, no losses. He only threw 9 innings. Struck out 7, walked 4. Batting average against 161. Neither righty or lefty batted over 200 against him. Seguin's 0 for 3. The windup and the pitch by Rhoden. Seguin's going to take. Strike 1. No balls, 1 strike. Seguin's ready now. Ferguson flashes the sign, the windup and the pitch. And Seguin grounds it to Say, who does not let the ball pass him this time. He throws him out. 1 up, 1 down, and Richie Hebner steps to the plate. Hebner's 1 for 3. His last time up, he doubled off the wall in right, scoring Stargills, and that put the Pirates up to a very comfortable 6-1 lead. It's getting a little antsy here for the Bucks. It's 8-4. The Dodgers came back with 3 in the bottom of the 6th. So 1 out, no 1 on. Here's the pitch to Hebner. And Hebner sends that ball to Crawford, and it's over his head, off the wall, and Hebner has another double. As the ball just continued to carry. Crawford continued to go back, but could not get to it. Richie Hebner comes through again. 1 out double. He's in scoring position, and the way things are going, Pittsburgh better keep scoring. Rennie Stinnett comes to the plate. Stinnet's 0 for 3. Batted .384 off right-handed pitching. RBI opportunity there. Hebner's on second. Rhoden sets and delivers. And Stinnett strikes out. He's 0 for 4. So his insertion into the lineup has not worked. 2 outs, and it's going to be up to Bob Robertson, who's 0 for 3 himself. Again, Robertson had 26 round trippers in 71. Love to get one now. Extend the lead even further for the Pirates. Rhoden toes the rubber, looks in at Ferguson, gets the sign, the windup, and the pitch. And Robertson strikes out, inning over. So the 1 out double goes for naught by Richie Hebner. We go to the bottom of the 7th, 8-4 Pittsburgh. Due up for Los Angeles. Buckner, Garvey, and Wynn. To face Bob Miller, he's still on the mound. He's thrown 5 pitches. Miller is good for 50. It's pretty much his game to the end, most likely. Righty-lefty matchup here. Buckner hit right-handed pitching at a .320 clip in 1974. Miller's ready. Here's the pitch. And Buckner walks. Again, that could be a problem here. As you see, Miller had 13 strikeouts and 13 walks, so he's 50-50. Now, that's not good. So Buckner's at first, being held down by Robertson. Steve Garvey comes to the plate. He's 0 for 3. Again, the Pirates would love a twin killing here. The windup and the pitch to Garvey. That ball goes out to Kleins in right center field, and he makes an excellent running catch for the first out of the inning. Buckner retreats back to first base. And the dangerous Jimmy Wynn comes to the plate. He's 0 for 1. His one hit, a grand salami in Game 1. He had 32 round trippers in 74. Seguin goes out to have a word with Miller. Robertson joins him, so does Hepburn. Meeting adjourned, all players go back to their positions. Wynn steps back in the batter's box. Miller's ready to work. He sets and delivers. That ball's grounded up the middle. It was past the net. It's now first and second with one out. Joe Ferguson, the Dodgers catcher, steps to the plate. He had 16 round trippers in '74. He's 0 for 1. He's walked twice and popped out to third in the 6th. Anxious moments here for the Pirates. One swing of the bat and they're only up 1 run. Ferguson asks for time, trying to put the whammy on Miller. Ferguson steps back in the box. Here's the pitch. Grounded to Miller, and that's going to be a twin killing. Inning over. So who put the whammy on who, Mr. Ferguson? We go to the bottom, to the top of the 8th, excuse me. 8-4 Pittsburgh, due up for the Pirates. The pitcher Miller, and then the top of the order, Cash and Klein. Miller's thrown 23 pitches. We're up 4 runs. He's going to hit. Rick Roden's 18 pitches. He's good for 50. Let me jump to the chat real quick. The Cubs, the Bears, says, fun fact, Stinnett is the only player in baseball history post-1900 to go 7 for 7 in a 9-inning game. Wow. Did he play for the Cubs or the Phillies? And was it the Cubs and Phillies who played that ridiculously high-scoring game in the early 80s or late 70s? What team was that for? The Cubs, the Bears. Great stat there. Real fun fact. Excellent. My chat's the best. That's all I can say. Alright, so Miller's up. He'll be taking. Here's the pitch by Roden. Strike 1. He's ready to grip and rip. Ferguson flashes the sign. Here's the pitch to Miller. And Miller walks! Wow, they walked the pitcher. You'd never want to do that. Miller's at first. 4 out of 10 base running ability. Garvey's holding him on. Dave Cash steps to the plate. He's 2 for 3. Walked in the first, singled in the third, grounded out in the 4th, and singled again in the 6th. The windup and the pitch by Roden. And back-to-back walks now, as he is struggling with his control. How long will the Dodgers go with Rick Roden? 2 runners on, no out. And Gene Klein steps to the plate. He's 2 for 4 today. Singled in the 1st and 3rd, fly to right in the 5th, and struck out in the 6th. He is 6 out of 10 for hit and run, 3 out of 10 for bunting. We have the pitcher at second base. I'm not going to put a play on. I would love to bunt, but 3 out of 10. Though, you know what? Even if they got the runner at third, we're going to get a better exchange of base runners with Cash and Kleins, as opposed to Miller and Cash. And if the bunt's successful, we put Miller at third base, a chance to score on a sacrifice fly, and we might revisit it, take him out of the game. The Cubs, the Bears has answered my inquiry. He said, Rennie Stinnett went 7 for 7 for the Pirates. They beat the Cubs like 20-0 that day. Wow. Ouch. Was that in Wrigley? So we have a choice here. And you know what? We're going to let Klein swing away. He's 2 for 4. He's 2 for 4. Roden toes the rubber. Gets the sign from Ferguson. Here's the pitch to Klein. And Klein strikes out. So after all that thought, Klein strikes out. 1 away, runners at first and second, and the absolutely marvelous Roberto Clemente steps to the plate. He is 3 for 4. He has, as it says, 3 hits, and I believe 5 RBIs. I can quickly count them. Actually, I can just go to the box score quickly. Five RBIs, I am correct. 3-run homer in the first. Beat out a double play ball in the third to get another RBI. Tripled in the 5th. And singled, scoring walker in the 6th. So he has another RBI opportunity here. And these are big runs. It's only 8-4, and the Dodgers, they have a little confidence here. You want to beat him back down with this stick. The windup and the pitch to Clemente. And Clemente sends that ball out to Crawford. He makes the catch. We have a 90% chance of tagging Miller up to third. We're going to say yes. There's a throw. Miller gets in there as the ball is thrown in towards the second base bag. So we have runners on the corner. Miller's 90 feet away from a very important insurance run. If he scores, the Bucks will be up by 5. That means one swing of the bat cannot tie the ball game up. A grand slam would not tie the ball game up. And Willie Stargell, who has struggled at the plate today and in this tournament, he's 0 for 4, can come up with a big hit here. Cash at first, Miller at third, Garvey holding Cash on. The windup and the pitch to Stargell. And he strikes out. He goes 0 for 5. Dodgers fans applaud as there is still hope. They still have 6 outs to win this ball game, or tie it up and go to extras. We go to the bottom of the 8th, 8-4 Pittsburgh, due up for Los Angeles. Crawford, Say, and Russell. Bob Miller, still on the mound. 23 pitches. Again, good for 50. He does not give up many runs, folks. Crawford 2 for 3. Lefty-righty matchup. Crawford singled in the 2nd, lined out in the 4th to center, and hit a 2-run homer. A blast that went 409 to center at the time to pull the Dodgers to within 8-3. Let's see how Mr. Miller handles it. He sets and delivers, and that ball is singled into right center field. So Crawford's having himself a day. Leadoff single. And Ron Say steps to the plate. Say's 2 for 2. With also 2 errors at third base. Singled in the 2nd, knocking in Ferguson, walked in the 4th, and then hit a solo shot as Crawford and Say went back-to-back in the 6th. Miller gets a sign from Seguin. The windup and the pitch to Say. And that ball goes out to Clemente in the corner. He makes the catch in right field. Outstanding defense by Roberto Clemente in this game. The Bears, the Cubs says, yep, Wrigley, watched it on TV, mid-70s. Thank you for the information and that wonderful fun fact about Rennie Stinnett, who is playing second base for the Pittsburgh Pirates right now in this tournament. Bill Russell steps up to the plate. He's 0 for 2. Crawford at first, 1 out. Miller's ready to work. Here's the pitch. Grounded to Hebner, who goes to second, forcing out Crawford. Russell is safe at first on the fielder's choice. So 2 outs. Russell at first. Robertson holding him on. Rick Roden steps to the plate. We're going to probably see a pinch hitter. I shall just click pinch. And there's the pinch hitter. And now this is the mind-boggling one. Von Joshua. On the bench against right-handers, Von Joshua. You have Manny Mota, a pinch-hitting guru, at 273. I mean, he's 254, but why would you not? And you have Yeager. I know he's a backup catcher, but my God, he hit 301. All right, well, that's what the computer manager decided. I don't know if that goes off pinch, but I mean it can't be because Manny Mota was their lead pinch hitter. All right, 2 outs. Russell at first, Joshua at the plate. Joshua in 1974 batted .234, 1 home run, 16 RBIs, and off right-handed pitching .250. Miller looking to get the final out here in the bottom of the 8th. The windup and the pitch. And he strikes him out as Russell was going. It looked like it was a hit and run. Inning over. We go to the top of the 9th. And now pitching for the Dodgers, Jeff Zahn. And Zahn in 1974 earned run average of 2.03. 3 wins, 5 losses, no saves. Struck out 33, walked 16 in 79 innings pitched. Batting average against .254. Left-handed batters hit him at a 224 clip. Righties a 264 clip. And he will face Manny Seguin, Richie Hebner, and Rennie Stinnett. And let's go to the pitching numbers for Roden and Brewer. Well, Brewer just won a third of an inning. Struck out 1, didn't give up anything. And Rick Roden went 2 innings, 1 hit, walked 2, struck out 4. Not bad. Bucks are up 4. They'd like to add on to this lead. The windup and the pitch by Zahn. And that's a single up the middle by Manny Seguin. Seguin, 6 out of 10 base runner, 25% chance of stealing second. Being held on by Garvey, and now here comes the Gravedigger's son, Richie Hebner, 2 for 4. He has 2 doubles in this game with an RBI. The other results, a strikeout in the 4th and a flyout deep to right in the 1st. Hebner would love to go yard here. Lefty-lefty matchup again. Hebner hit 291 off left-handed pitching. It does not faze him. The windup and the pitch. And Hebner strikes out. It phased him that time. 1 out. Seguin at first. And the 0 for 4, Rennie Stinnett steps up plate. As the Cubs, the Bears, was telling us about his 7 for 7 effort in a 9-inning game. So Rennie's 0 for 4. Again, righty-lefty matchup, and Stinnett hit 296. He wants to get a hit here. He wants to get off the schneid. Ferguson goes through the signs. The windup and the pitch. And Stinnett dribbles it to Lopes. What happens there? They still turn 2. Wow, so Lopes still makes the play. Lopes to Russell to Garvey. Even with the slight boot of the ball. We go to the bottom of the 9th. Bucks winning by 4. Due up for the Dodgers. Lopes, the top of the order. Davey Lopes, Bill Buckner, and Steve Garvey. If anyone gets on, wins. Miller's up to 44 pitches. He's good for 50. This will probably be his last batter. Davey Lopes, 1 for 4. Pirates 3 outs away from advancing to the finals against the 1970 Minnesota Twins. So if that happened, it would be the 71 Pirates versus the 70 Twins. Quite intriguing. Lopes had his only hit in the 5th inning. Miller's ready. Here's the pitch to Davey. Grounded to Stinnett, who goes to Robertson. Out number 1, to the groans of the Dodger fans here in LA. Dodgers 2 outs away from being eliminated. Bill Buckner steps to the plate. He's 0 for 3. Lefty-righty matchup. Miller's up to 48 pitches. Here's the pitch to Buckner. And Buckner grounds the cash. Out number 2. The Pirates players are up on the dugout top step. Who's going to get the last out here, they're thinking. Steve Garvey, Dodgers' last opportunity to extend this game. Oh, Beatles says bring in Dave Gusti to close. For Beatles, I'm going to take a look at that. Gusti had 30 saves and 227. And you know what? Gusti's coming in to get this last out. Beatles, our honorary pitching coach and extreme Bucks fan, has called for it. And here he is, Dave Gusti. And in 1971, for the Bucks, he had 30 saves. Earned run average, 2.93. Miller was up to 50 pitches anyway. Good call by our honorary pitching coach, Beatles Eternally, in the chat. 5 wins, 6 losses, as I said, 30 saves. Struck out 55, walked 31, batting average against 241. Lefties hit him for 256, righties 227. So, Goostie's in there for the last out of the inning. Let's go to the pitching numbers for Miller. Miller went 3 innings. He did his job. 2 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 1 K. Excellent hold there by Miller. If the Pirates are able to win this game, and they're 1 out away. 1 out away from the win, 1 out away from them rushing the field, and 1 out away from the championship against the 71 Minnesota Twins. All that stands between them is Steve Garvey, who is 0 for 4 today. Righty-righty matchup. Seguin goes out, has a word with Dave Goostie. Now goes back behind the plate. Goostie stares in at Seguin. He's ready. Here's the pitch to Garvey. Grounded to Stinnett. Over to Robertson. Ball game over. The Pirates of 1971 advance to the tournament championship game in this one-and-done playoff series against the 1970 Minnesota Twins, who won the American League. The Pirates win the National League. And oh, what a game that's going to be. The Pirates have scored a plethora of runs in their 3 games, as they are victorious 8-4 over the Dodgers. Unbelievable. Now, who do you think is going to be player of the game? I think it's Roberto Clemente. And let me quickly jump to the chat, as I always do before I go to the box scores. We've gone a little long, but there's been some really fun stuff in the chat, so I like to read it off. Oh, the Bears, the club. Oh, God, I always do that. The Cubs, the Bears says, Justy, thank you. I say Goostie. Thank you very much. Justy. So the GU is a J sound. Beatles Attorney, thank you, Commissioner. No, thank you, because I was going to stick to Miller in the end, and I had actually, this was the only time I've been able to manage the Pirates, and I got to really do something because I don't want to get the Pirates shortchanged in the championship game, as I will be managing the Minnesota Twins. So I might actually set up, I think there is, I'm going to set up, I wonder if I can do that in the regular portion of the game, and does it carry over into the playoff? Because I'm going to set up who comes in and when. I'm not going to make the calls, but I want them to do a little better than the computer. So, congratulations to the Pirates. I'm happy for Beatles Eternally, who's a big Pittsburgh Pirates fan. And he says, yeah, baby, Bucks had them all the way. They have scored, and I'm going to go through it real quick. Let's go to the... Oh, let me say thank you first. Thank you to Beatles Eternally in the chat. Thank you very much. And also to the Cubs, the Bears, and Max Cornelius. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining me in the chat. And whoever else watched, I greatly appreciate it, as always. Feel free to jump in the chat and enjoy the wonderful conversations that go on. As the Cubs, the Bears came up with a real fun fact. I'm going to read it one last time. Fun fact about Rennie Stinnett, who was playing second base for the Pirates in this game. The only player to go 7 for 7 post-1900 in a 9-inning game. He did it against the Cubs. And the Cubs... The Bears says, yep, he believed he was watching on TV, mid-70s, Wrigley Field. It's about 20-0, he said. Alrighty, so thank you very much. Let's go to the box score. Winning pitcher, Walker, workmanlike performance. I went with Walker. He had the better whip and ERA. I went with him. Over. I can't remember the pitchers' names now, but I went with him. And what's going to be interesting, I'm going to be able to come back probably with Blast. Or the computer might come back with Blast. I don't know who I'm coming back with as Minnesota, but we shall discuss that later. So Walker, the winning pitcher. Doug Rowell, the loser. The player of the game? Shocking, Roberto Clemente. He was like Bugs Bunny. He was everywhere. He did everything. Awesome. Let's bring up the box score. Oops, clicked on the wrong thing here. Let's not close down the game, Al. Here we go. Box score should be up shortly. Go to pitching first. I don't know why the cursor does that before I bring up the box score, but I apologize for that. Alrighty, so Walker gets the win. He went 5 1/3, 5 hits, 4 runs, all earned, 2 home runs, 6 walks, 1 K. The walks killed him. He pitched out of many jams, but the 6th inning he couldn't pitch out of them. They finally broke through with 3 runs. Prior to that, he had only given up 1 run in the 2nd. Hernandez came in, pitched a 1/3 of an inning, got a hold. Miller got the tremendous hold, 3 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 1 K. And then Justy came in, got the final out. By Beatles Eternally, made the call. He said, bring in Justy. And thank you to the Cubs, the Bears, for the proper pronunciation of his name. I appreciate that. Doug Rauch took the loss, 5 2/3 innings, 8 hits, 8 runs, 6 of them earned. Say made 2 errors at 3rd, costing him 2 more runs. 1 home run, 3 walks, 3 Ks. Brewer, a 1/3 of an inning, rode in 2 innings, 1 hit, 2 walks, 4 Ks. And Zahn came in, pitched the 9th, 1 hit, 1 strikeout, no runs. Let's go to batting. Player of the game, Roberto Clemente, 3 for 5, 2 runs scored, 5 RBIs, 1 triple, 1 home run. No walks, no strikeouts. For the rest of the Pittsburgh lineup, Dave Cash, 2 for 3, 3 runs scored, 2 walks. Kleins, who we inserted in the center field, 2 for 5, 1 run, struck out twice. We already went through Clemente. Stargell struggled. His struggles in this tournament have been awful. He's batting .077. 0 for 5 with a run scored. He struck out twice. Manny Seguin, 1 for 5. Richie Hebner, again, Hebner batting .417 in the tournament. 2 for 5, 1 RBI, 2 strikeouts, 2 doubles. You'll take the 2 strikeouts. Well, he usually gets clutch hits. In the 3 games, he's gotten clutch hits. Stinnett, who we put into the lineup because of his bat, 0 for 5 with a K. Robertson, 0 for 4 with a K. Walker, the pitcher, 0 for 1 with a run scored. He had 2 walks, got on base twice, he struck out once. Hernandez, the pitcher, didn't get an at-bat. Miller, the pitcher, was up once, he walked. And Justy came in, got the last out, did not get an at-bat. So the Pirates had 38 at-bats, 8 runs, 10 hits, 6 RBIs, 5 walks, 9 Ks, 2 doubles, 1 triple, and a home run. For the Dodgers, who scored 4 runs, and usually 4 runs are enough to keep you in the ball game or win. But not tonight. Davey Lopes, 1 for 5. Buckner, 0 for 4 with a walk. Garvey, 0 for 5. Wynn, 1 for 2 with a run scored and 2 walks. Ferguson, 0 for 2 with a run scored, 2 walks. Crawford, good day for him. Crawford and Say, except for the errors, which evened out what Say did at the plate. Crawford, 3 for 4, 1 run scored, 2 RBIs and a home run. Then Say went back-to-back. They went back-to-back, Jackson in the 6th. Say was 2 for 3 with a run scored, 2 RBIs and a walk, but he had 2 errors, and they were huge. Again, 2 runs, so Pittsburgh, they win 6-4 if everything stayed pat. Doug Rauch, 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Brewer didn't get an at-bat when he came in to pitch. Pacharik, pinch hit single, 1 for 1. Roden didn't get an at-bat as a pitcher. Joshua, again, a bizarre pick of Joshua, up once with a strikeout. And Zahn came in, pitched the 9th inning, did not get an at-bat. Dodgers, 32 at-bats, 4 runs, 8 hits, 4 RBIs, 7 walks, 2 strikeouts, no doubles, no triples, 2 home runs, and that was on the back-to-back Crawford and Say blasts. The recap, good God, that's going to be long. Pittsburgh scored 3 runs in the first on 2 hits and a walk. Roberto Clemente, 3-run homer. They led 3-0. Dodgers in the second sent 7 batters to the plate, but only scored 1 run. Ron Say singled, scoring Ferguson. Made it 3-1. In the third, Pittsburgh scored a run on 2 hits. Roberto Clemente hit a grounder, beat out the double play ball. Got another RBI, made it 4-1. In the 5th, Pirates scored 2 runs on 2 hits and an error. That was Say's first error, I believe. Richie Hebner doubled, scoring Stargell, and that made it 6-1. In the 6th, again, Pirates scored 2 runs on 2 hits and a walk. Roberto Clemente singled, scoring Walker, made it 7-1. Dave Cash scored on a wild pitch by Brewer, made it 8-1. And that's all the scoring for Pittsburgh. Dodgers rallied a bit in the 6th. 7 batters sent to the plate, scoring 3 runs on 3 hits and a walk. Willie Crawford and Ron Cey went back-to-back home runs. Crawford was a 2-run blast, Cey a solo shot. Dave Cash went 2 for 3 with 3 runs and 2 walks. Roberto Clemente 3 for 5, a triple, a home run, 5 RBIs, 2 runs scored. Richie Hefner 2 for 5, 2 doubles. Ron Cey 2 for 3, a home run, 2 RBIs, but 2 costly errors at third base. Willie Crawford 3 for 4, a home run, and 2 RBIs. Winning pitcher Luke Walker. And then the bullpen came in and did a pretty fine job. So, Doug Rao got the loss. Dodgers are gone. Pittsburgh advances to the championship game against the Minnesota Twins. And that game will be played in Pittsburgh, as Pittsburgh is the lower seed. Yes, because Pittsburgh is a 4 seed out of the National League, and Minnesota is a 5 seed out of the American League. So the game will be in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh gets a home game. So once again, Sal Red Sox fans saying thank you very much to everyone who's watched. Greatly appreciate it. Hats off to Beatles Eternally, the Cubs, the Bears, and Max Cornelius. Always wonderful to have you fine gentlemen in the chat with the great chat that goes on and the wonderful, interesting things that are said and the fun facts. So, championship game is coming up. Might be tomorrow, might be Friday. I don't know. But stay tuned to the channel. After this, we're going to go back to a little Digital Diamond Baseball, some 78 stuff. I was playing a little bit more that season, didn't record it. But we also are going to set up another tournament in here. We might show some 1960 Red Sox play on Out of the Ballpark. I actually had pulled to within 6 games of 500, but I lost my last 2. Yeah, I think I believe I'm 7 games below 500. My goal with the 60 Red Sox, again, Out of the Ballpark, that's the alternate universe sandbox. I want to be above 500 or 500 and be 4th place in Ted Williams' Swan Song season. Beatles Eternally says, great time, Al, thanks. Thank you, and everyone else in the chat. So, Al Red Sox fan saying, take care, health, and happiness. Till next time, bye-bye, and God bless. And stay tuned for that championship game. It's coming up in the next few days, so stay ready and check out the channel and your reminders. God bless. Take care. Bye-bye.